have a question about emotional guidance system. How do I know I can trust my feelings, that they were not influenced by someone else, like a bigger authority, perhaps a bad hypnosis, and so on?
Well, what humans call a little bit of trial and error, what we call keener awareness to your calibration. One thing that we know for sure is that when you find a way of quieting your mind, do you meditate?
Yeah, every day, 35 minutes.
When you find a way of quieting your mind, really quieting your mind, and you find that detached place, and you're able to stay there long enough that then from a place of non-resisted thought or no thought, there can be thought that comes from that other place. You know that distinction? Let's say that you have a lot to do, you really don't have time to meditate, you want to meditate, you don't think you have time to meditate, you decide you're going to meditate, and you sit down, and for a while you're thinking, I really don't have time to do this, 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 I'm not doing it, I don't have time to do this. So resistant thought, resistant thought, resistant thought. But then you give yourself a minute and you start focusing on your breathing, or Esther likes to listen to the air conditioner because it's steady. Hear it? And she doesn't feel judgment about it. She doesn't think, I've heard better. It's just something to focus on that doesn't bring any resistance from her. And so once she focuses there, now sometimes she'll focus and her mind will wander, and then she'll focus again and her mind will wander. Sometimes it takes 5 or 10 or 15 minutes for her to relax into the nothingness of that. But as soon as she does, then there's a feeling of sort of breaking into outer space, a feeling of detachment, and then soon on the heels of that come streams of pleasant thoughts, streams of guidance. And when she follows that guidance, there's always an obvious payoff. So that's how you come to know. You make sure you're hooked up to that, you feel it because of the release of resistance, and then when the thought comes, we're not talking about go to the corner store and buy a ticket at 7 minutes after 4. But you might want to do that. We're talking about a feeling of driving through the park on your way to where you're going, or a feeling of taking your burrito to the beach to eat it for a minute, or the feeling of calling someone. These impulses that come to you, shopping. Esther's always listening for that one. Want me to go shopping? Want me to go shopping? But when those impulses come and you follow them, and then something occurs and you just know that it's part of your path of non-resistance, it's your path toward what you want, then you get good at that. You get so that if you don't feel that way, you get so you can tell what you're under the influence of. Because when you're under the influence of source, it always feels good. It goes from satisfaction to true passion. And if you're not under the influence of source, then it feels like something that you should do. It feels like something that you're trying to fix. It feels like something that's bothering you, something that you're trying to reconcile. You just get so you can feel it. And don't be uncomfortable about following down the wrong track, because all that will do is give you more information. You'll begin to associate that feeling with that outcome until you'll be really sure. You'll be really sure. Sometimes Esther will be stubborn in the face of something. Stubborn, meaning non-diluted in thought, meaning really sure, meaning really under the influence of source. And sometimes others around her wonder why she's so sure about it, but you just get so you just know. You just know, you see.
Would you say meditation is the best thing to get into alignment?
Unequivocally. No question. It's the very best tool that there is, because it is a surefire way, if you're willing to give yourself 20 or 30 minutes, it's a surefire way of releasing resistance. And when you release thought, you release resistance. And when you have no resistance, your vibration rises. And when your vibration rises, you hook in to your broader perspective, and for a while are under the influence of source. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not come out of meditation and get right back into a routine that's been bothering you, because you can, but you'll know the difference. Sometimes people have said to us, Abraham, is it normal, these are their words, for all hell to break loose in your life when you begin meditating? And we say yes, because you become sensitive to pure positive energy and less tolerant of what isn't.
Correct.
Your source energy in this physical body, seeking alignment with broader perspective, because in your alignment you are radiating a vibration that draws to you wanted things. And sometimes what it draws to you is others in your experience, and then they feel influenced by you. But you didn't come to influence others. You came to connect with source energy with the intent of being an uplifter to anyone who is a cooperative component. You didn't come to demand their joining you in upliftment. You came to demonstrate the joy of being in sync with source energy, that others might see it and join because they're looking for the pleasure that you have obviously discovered. There's a difference. Can you feel?
I can, but wouldn't I get this if I'm in the non-physical? Why do I have to come here? Like, you know what I mean?
Because you are not only non-physical and you are not only physical, you are both, and both are necessary for the eternalness of all of it. You said from your non-physical perspective, I'm going to project some of my consciousness into the physical world, where I will more specifically sift and sort and deal with resistance, and my inner being part will remain in a non-resisted place. So as I choose and launch rockets, the universe will expand and myself will become more. And as I, from my physical standpoint, seek the alignment that positive emotion indicates, when I come into the fullness of who I am, it will feel delicious. And physicality is the leading edge of creation. So why would a creator not want to be on the leading edge?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good enough?
Thank you.
Really
Appreciate
good.
it. Thank you.
Really good.